Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back again with another review for Maîtresse d'un homme marié. Today I'm going to talk about episode 16, and I have to say that this episode was actually really interesting, so let's get right into it. First, you see that Lalle and Birame have been doing some exercise, and at one point Birame really wants to talk to Lalle, and he is telling her that he is actually really proud of her, of how she carried herself through the situation with Cheikh. He then adds that, every family actually, has fights, discussions, and sometimes they get a little bit estranged. Also emphasizes that a true family always comes back together, implying that she should actually, get back with Cheikh. And he also adds that he knows his brother very well, and he knows that Cheikh still loves Lalle. Lalle tells Birame that whatever she and Cheikh had is long over. They were married, now they're divorced, and they have kids now and they have to go their own way. Then Birame actually even makes like a sexual joke, asking her if she misses it, and that's when Lalle is actually like, you know what, Birame, you have been giving me advice, but why don't you go back with Jalika? And this really gets Birame to thinking, because he's like, you know what, Jalika is actually a really good woman. She is a good mother, she's a good wife, but she's not the type of woman for me, because she's not the type of woman that would push me forward in order for me to advance. However, he does say she's beautiful, intelligent, and soft when she wants to be, but they were not made for each other. And that's when Lalle actually tells him that she needs to go because she has a big show, and we all know what that is going to be. Then we switch to Gueye and Mère Diagne. Mère Diagne is really deeply in her thoughts, and Gueye is actually talking to her, but she doesn't even notice. And he's actually asking her like, so what are you thinking about? I mean, you were so worried about Cheikh, and now he's back home. What are you, what is occupying your mind? And she's saying that it's Birame. She's explaining to Gueye that Birame took an apartment for the kids, but Jalika is also living there. And she knows Birame very well, and she knows that there's something else that he's up to. And then she actually, talks about how she really doesn't want to have anything to do with Jalika because of how she is related to Bakary Sagna. She's like, his blood is in her and I don't want to do anything with him. Then Gueye comes to the conclusion that Birame needs a typical Senegalese wife. And Mère Diagne is like, yes, but where are we going to find her? And at that moment, Birame actually has an altercation with Amsa. And I knew that it was going to be Amsa. And at that moment, Birame basically looks at Amsa up and down, and he's telling her that, Amsa, you are actually so hot, and you're very thick, and how come you are single? And they just go back and forth in this discussion, and Gueye actually, calls Mère Diagne over to listen, and eventually they retreat back to their seats on the couch, and he's just telling her how perfect they are made for each other. But of course, Mère Diagne has her doubts, because she's like, oh no, that is not true. And you know what I have been through with both Amsa and Mariem. Mariem actually got us into a lot of problems with Cheikh, and now you want me to, impose Amsa on Birame? Never. And I think that Gueye is actually trying to convince her and telling her that, you know what, I have raised Amsa. I know her very well, and these two are made for each other. And he's also, bringing in the expression of like, there's a very fine line between love and hate. And I think that he just thinks that they are made for each other, and he's also, you know, saying that Birame needs someone like himself, someone who will not, you know, be obedient to him, someone who will actually scream back if he screams. And that's exactly what we saw, you know, between the altercation between Amsa and Birame. So I am curious. Eventually, Gueye and Mère Diagne, they end up laughing so hard. So I really want to know what's going to happen. Then we see that Mère is visiting Jalika's mom. And what she's actually doing is pleading for, you know, some understanding, because she wants Jalika's mom to help her so that Raki can get out of prison. However, Jalika's mom does not want to hear anything. She's like saying to Mère that, you know what, your kids, they didn't kill a dog, they didn't kill a goat, they killed a person. They took a life. Of course, Mère does not agree with it, because what kind of person, dignified person, would rape a child and pretend that they cared for them by, you know, buying candies, food, taking care of them, but, you know, behind everyone's back they would rape them. And she's also telling Jalika's mom that, do you think that she's the only one he raped? I am sure there are so many others, and that even you are aware of it. Eventually she also says that, you know what, he deserved that. And then they actually end up shouting. Then Cheikh is finally back at Senegalese, and then there's a little scene with Birame and Salif, and it's more about Salif, you know, expressing his apologies for what happened, but also saying that he's really glad to have Cheikh back. But of course Birame is like, well, I can see right through you, I know you don't mean it, you're not sincere. And it's just a weird scene. Then Cheikh actually comes in, and he's, you know, doing a little speech about how proud he is that his little brother Birame actually kept Senegalese above water, and also for the partners and the other employees to have stayed. And he's also, you know, reflecting back to his father, that his father founded the company and he had, you know, some important values such as honesty, and that he is really proud of what they did. He's also, you know, saying that because he was in prison, he was surrounded by four walls, it got him to thinking a lot. And even Birame makes the joke of like, you know, this guy has been to prison for a little bit and now he thinks he's Tupac. Anita actually tells them that the following day there is a delivery for like 20 apartments, and of course Salif has to say that the next week there is going to be a partner from Ivory Coast that will be visiting as well. And it seems like everything is going well business-wise. Then there's a short scene where you see that Regina's having, you know, a short attack or something, and she's actually taking Valium, and the psychotherapist that is sitting next to her is actually trying to calm her down. And at the same time, Amidou is actually calling Dalanda, and Dalanda is the person that actually gets Regina out of her, you know, panic attack. And what Dalanda tells Regina is that, you know what, the person I admire the most, that's you. You are a strong woman, a beautiful woman, and there is no obstacle that you cannot overcome. Do you remember all the walls? You broke them all, and you can do it again. You go out there, you got this. Of course, you can see in Regina that she feels a lot better after hearing this. The last scene from this episode is actually interesting because in the background you see the talk show that Regina is on with the psychotherapist and with Lala. Lala is actually asking Regina, the lawyer, about the background of the case and what she wants people to know. What Regina does is actually give a basic layover of the situation of what happened to Rocky. That a couple of weeks ago, a woman and her husband were arrested and that they killed Bakary Sagna. And she also tells that Bakary Sagna was the person who used to rape her when she was a child. Jalika is watching this. At one point, she actually starts going ballistic. She's asking herself, so he gets himself killed, buried like he's nobody? And now people are defending the people who did this? What do they want? And I think that she means the people on the television. So Regina, but also Lala, because that is her ex-sister-in-law. Birame comes in because he's like, what is all this noise? She's telling him that they are, you know, dragging her dad's name through the mud. Birame tells her that, you know, it's not nice to hear all those things about your dad, but you know, justice will prevail. Of course, Jalika's like, what do they know about justice? But Birame, you know, he's saying something really important. He's like, well, she already, you know, admitted to killing him. Why would she lie about the rape? Jalika goes off. She's like, she says whatever she wants. Birame tells her like, what if it's true? You're also a woman. But Jalika does not care at all. And what is painful about this scene to me is that even Birame is acknowledging that one time in season 1 where he actually raped her, and Jalika is dismissing that completely. She tells him to freaking go, or she will freaking go. And that was it for the craziest episode ever. And when I say crazy, I actually only mean the last scene, because Jalika is really weird, because I did not know that she loved her father that much, and her father was not a good man at all. Like, even if he did not rape Rocky, let's just be honest, he is not a normal guy. And I am really curious to see, again, how is Jalika going to develop whenever she will learn about more stories, because I am sure someone is going to come forward, if it's not hundreds of women. Also, I want to know whether Birame is going to get married to Amsa, because I think that Gueye is right in some way, but you know, it can also backfire. If I forgot something in this review, I will definitely put it in the comment section. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next video.